Hello, I'm Dr. Megan Davidson. I'm the CEO of Wildlife Victoria. This little creature I've got hanging from me is my grey-headed flying fox orphan that I will be raising. I'm an authorised foster carer for this species. I'd first like to thank all of the donors to our bushfire appeal. You have allowed us to do some most amazing work for wildlife, and I'm going to tell you a bit about that. The bushfires in the black summer of 2019-2020 were absolutely unprecedented in intensity and in size. 18 million hectares were destroyed, and we think upwards of 3 billion native Australian animals perished in those fires. During the fires, we were able to send a team out to the bushfire zone to help with rescue and recovery. We were able to get in touch with all of the affected wildlife shelters and make sure they had what they needed. Some of the wildlife shelters had to evacuate themselves and all of their animals multiple times as the fires changed direction. So we've been able to assist, since the bushfires, a number of shelters to rebuild their infrastructure, and they are going to continue to rescue and rehabilitate Australian native wildlife. Importantly, we have also been able to assist a whole range of volunteers in the bushfire zone to support feed surviving native wildlife. It became clear very quickly that because of the extent and intensity of the fires, it's going to take a very long time for the bush to recover to provide food for the survivors. So we set up accounts at local country grain and food stores. We wanted to support local businesses as well. And our volunteers have been out there providing support feeding for surviving native wildlife, and that is only now coming to an end many, many months after the fires were extinguished. I'd like to showcase a couple of particular grants that we've given. We have given out over $1 million in grants to rescuers, to wildlife carers and shelters, not only in the bushfire areas but across other bushfire prone areas of Victoria. The first of these shelters is called Dutch Thunder, and this is a shelter run by Kylie and James up on the river area of Victoria. The grant that we provided to Dutch Thunder has allowed them to build a very large flight aviary, and this will be used to rehabilitate and build flight fitness for birds of prey, because of course these birds need very good flight fitness if they're going to survive once they're released into the wild. The second shelter that I'd like to showcase is the East Trentham Wildlife Shelter. This shelter is a bit of a legend in Victoria. Manfred and Helen have been rehabilitating animals for a very long time. They specialise in macropods, which are kangaroos and wallabies. And we've provided a grant to them to allow them to build a special holding room, an ICU if you like, a treatment area for the animals that come into their care. They will often take some very complex and difficult cases. So this will provide, again, a resource for the whole area where people can take animals to Manfred and Helen and know that they're going to be getting the most excellent quality of care. The generosity of the donors to the bushfire appeal is making a huge difference to the care, the rescue, the rehabilitation and the release of wildlife in Victoria. And I just want to thank you all again for your enormous generosity over the bushfires, and to tell you that we are committed to continuing to use those funds to make a difference to wildlife in Victoria.